Vamos a ver este vídeo. Me parece muy interesante lo que puede contar.
Tell me if this has ever happened to you. You have this playlist of all your favorite little songs on
Crazy
Spotify.
Frog!
To get a different listening experience every time you're in the shower, you hit that nice shuffle button. After a while though, maybe a week, a month, a year if you're really clueless, you start to notice your playlist feeding you the same 15 songs
todo el rato.
every time you hit shuffle.
Pero todo el
You never
rato, no
hear
tiene
the
sentido.
other 396 songs that you've added to your playlist. So you might
Voy a ver cuánto tiempo tengo de música en mi lista. Sigo varias listas y tal, pero voy a mirarlo en mi lista, la que yo tengo hecha. 55 horas de música tengo. Escucho siempre las mismas canciones. Siempre las mismas. Me sé el patrón. Cambia un poco, pero tampoco te creas que... No cambia una mierda. O sea, para que cambie tienes que meter por lo menos 10 canciones. Metes una canción nueva o dos canciones nuevas, seguramente no las vas a escuchar en tu puta vida. Yo tengo canciones ahí metidas que no las he escuchado. Solo las he escuchado en el momento que las metí. De locos. Voy a echar una scrolleadita rápida a mi lista para ver a ver si sale una canción que no haya escuchado. Mira, Diwen de La Gosa Sorda no la he escuchado nunca. Desde que la metí no recuerdo haberla escuchado nunca. No puede ser que sea un algoritmo. O sea, si es un algoritmo de mierda realmente, porque no tiene en cuenta cuando metes canciones nuevas. O sea, cuando metes canciones nuevas debería cambiar, ¿no? Como para recomendarte más las canciones nuevas que acabas de meter y no, yo qué sé, Sad But True de Metallica, que la has escuchado 154 millones de veces. ¿No? Digo yo, debería ir así el tema.
A big numbers guy over here. I'm the type of person that wants really detailed information on things. That's why you clicked on this fucking video essay after all, isn't it? I do this with Minecraft, music, whatever. I need a detailed explanation.
Lo estoy pasando súper mal por ella porque tiene todo el rato el micro en la mano. Chica, ponte un trípode o algo.
Yeah, but how? Or why? Like, why is this ripped TikToker pouring milk all over himself while lip-syncing Daisy by Ash Nico? So is Spotify's shuffle feature broken? Is it not working correctly? Is it an algorithm? Is it just my imagination that the Spotify playlist I hit shuffle?
No, Reina, no es tu imaginación. Yo estoy contigo a muerte. Donde tú vayas, yo voy.
Songs I added get buried at the end of the playlist. What's going on? So you can bet your ass that I did research. The short answer is that our
había que investigar,
is
¿no?
correct. Spotify's shuffle option is not actually a random shuffle.
No,
we can all go to bed, rest easy. We did it, folks.
Grande.
We solved the most compelling mystery of the 21st century. But rather, Spotify's shuffle option, like a weather lady, uses an algorithm. But there's more to it than that.
Che, qué buen vídeo, ¿no? Está como muy bien editado y muy bien montado.
A more in-depth look at our brain's perception of random, psychology, and math. I know not everyone enjoys math, so I'll explain it to you like you're 5, and I promise it will be interesting. It's not random.
Uf, me cae muy bien,
We don't actually want a truly randomly shuffled playlist.
No?
Why? Because true random actually looks like this. If I had a playlist with 10 songs, true random would mean that every song on this playlist has an equal chance of coming up next. Well, if our playlist of 10 songs has 5 Taylor Swift songs, just pretend I'm holding up 5 fingers, and 5 other random songs from random artists, true random would mean that I still have a chance of getting 4 Taylor Swift songs in a row. That is truly random, but to us, putting a playlist on shuffle and getting the same artist 4 times in a row does not seem random to us.
Vale, que te suene la misma, o sea, un artista 5 veces seguidas no es random. Pero llegar al punto de aprenderte el patrón del random para saber qué te va a sonar lo siguiente, es que tampoco lo es. De hecho, es más random que un día te suene 5 canciones seguidas de un artista y al día siguiente no lo haga. Eso es más random. No que todos los días tengas que comerte el mismo patrón de canciones, que ese patrón llega al final, tú le tengas que volver a dar a play y suene el mismo patrón de canciones porque a lo mejor llevas, yo qué sé, X tiempo sin actualizar la lista. O a lo mejor las actualizaciones que haces no son lo suficientemente grandes como para modificar el patrón.
Spotify's shuffle algorithm actually started out like this, as true random. But people started complaining because they were getting clusters of the same artists every time in a row, so Spotify ended up changing their shuffle code from truly random to an algorithm-based thing that we know today.
Claro, entiendo que en informática y cosas así, random no puede ser. Porque random no existe en este tipo de cosas. Random es, yo qué sé, la magia. Pero aquí algo tiene que estar programado para que Spotify haga algo. Con lo cual, en el momento en que alguien tiene que programar algo, ya no es random.
That same algorithm makes another group of people complain that they're getting the same 10 songs every time they shuffle their playlist, also making it not feel truly random. And before I get you dorks in the comments who majored in computer science, there are multiple types of random shuffling, and there are nerdy-ass arguments about if true random by a computer truly exists.
Claro, esto es lo que he comentado. ¿Cómo puede ser algo random cuando alguien lo tiene que programar?
Shuffle. Okay, now leave me alone. I took 2 Java classes in college. So here's my playlist called Game Plus Anime Sleepy Time with 123 songs on it, and I forced it to reshuffle 20 different times. When you shuffle a Spotify playlist, it doesn't choose a song at random every time you hit next. What it does is when you do hit that shuffle button, Spotify creates a randomly shuffled queue one time. So I looked at that queue every time I hit shuffle to see what songs came up the most.
Vale, lo que ha hecho es cuando tú le das a siguiente, cuando tú le das a shuffle, o sea, a aleatorio y le das a siguiente, lo que hace Spotify no es darle a una canción aleatoria y ya está. Spotify crea una lista, o sea, una cola de canciones, con lo cual lo que ella ha hecho ha sido ha cogido una lista aleatoria, le ha ido dando a shuffle y a cambiar canción y ha visto y ha observado qué canción se repite más, ¿no? O qué canciones se repiten más.
The Angel Beats theme song played in the top 10 songs 7 out of the 20 times I shuffled this goddamn playlist. One of the 100 plus songs came up in the first 10 songs on the queue 7 out of the 20 times I shuffled it.
Esta canción le salió 7 veces de las 20 que probó. O sea, de una lista de 100 canciones, una canción, no recuerdo el nombre ahora, que le salió 7 veces de las 20 que probó. O sea, es casi la mitad de veces.
That's not random. I guess technically it could be, but you know, it doesn't seem like it because Dire Docks also came up 5 times in the first 10 songs. Twin Leaf Town came up 5 times, and several other songs came up 2 or more times in the top first 10 songs that will play out of the 20 times I
Qué
shuffled.
locura, ¿no?
And this playlist is
123 canciones.
Songs long. Songs like Sweden from Minecraft didn't even make it in the top 10, even once. And why is this a big deal? Well,
¿Ves? Es que hay canciones que ni suenan. Esa canción que ha dicho no se puso en el top 10 en las 20 veces que probó, ni una vez.
100 plus songs long, having your shuffled queue front-loaded with the same songs every time will annoy the crap out of you, and all your other songs get buried in the queue, and you'll in turn hear those songs rarely ever unless you finish the playlist queue in full every single time you listen to it. Also spent way too much of their free time running an experiment like this just to prove that Spotify's shuffling was not truly random. They took a little bit of a different approach though. This person created a playlist of 99 songs, but a giant one. Then they added one very obscure, not popular song to this playlist to complete a 100 song playlist. They then force shuffled this playlist 50 times.
Vale, o sea, hicieron un experimento que era meter 99, hacer una lista con 99 canciones y luego una canción como muy impopular, ¿no? O poco conocida, o como, para crear una lista de 100 canciones. Y la pusieron en shuffle 50 veces. Probaron el shuffle 50 veces.
Their 100th track was never listed higher than 77th in the shuffled queue. They suggested that Spotify...
Y la canción que pusieron para completar, la rara y impopular, nunca pasó del número 77, ¿no? En la cola de recomendación, entiendo, de Spotify.
Algorithm only prioritizes popular songs in the playlist and puts less popular songs towards the end or bottom of the queue. I believe it, but this angry experiment is also over 5 years old. Yes, 2017.
O sea, este experimento lo que concluyó fue que Spotify ordena las colas de canciones según lo populares que sean las canciones. Es que esto no es shuffle. O sea, es lo que he dicho antes. Sí, puede que un día, si fuera shuffle de verdad, te comieras 4 o 5 canciones del mismo artista. Pero es que si vas a priorizar las canciones más populares, tampoco está haciendo shuffle. También lo que va a decir ahora, esto es un experimento de 2017. Esto es cómo funcionaba en 2017. ¿Cómo funciona ahora? Igual lo comenta ahora.
Was 5 years ago. This is Miranda Cosgrove now. Feel old yet? Probably fuck. I'm
No
not
sé
a
quién eres.
mathematician, but my AP Calc teacher said that I should have become one. Look at me now, Anne. I'm thriving. So, I'm no mathematician, I didn't get my degree in logistical math, but I'm willing to say that this is not a random selection of songs based on our observed experiments. But is it really based on popularity? Or is it like a personalized algorithm, like YouTube?
Que
trying to
YouTube
guess what
tampoco
you
es un algoritmo ya, ¿eh? Es como una red neuronal de no sé qué.
Because Sweden by C418 is an extremely popular track, and I would fully expect it to outperform most of the songs on my Sleepy Goo Goo Gaga playlist. So,
la canción esta de Minecraft se ve que es muy popular para la gente que le gusta Minecraft, entiendo. O muy reconocible, digamos, ¿no? Y no tuvo mucho éxito, es lo que he dicho antes, que apenas salió una vez en el top 10.
What if we took a playlist of only popular songs?
Claro.
And what if that playlist was only 50 tracks long this time? What happens now? Well, I took the hot Spotify playlist, Hot Hits USA.
Vale, para hacerlo más, digamos, para probar hasta qué punto ordena las canciones por popularidad, lo que hizo fue pillar una lista con todo canciones populares. En este caso, el Hot Hits USA.
A playlist with 50 songs on it and forced it to reshuffle 10 times.
50 canciones que va a probar 10 veces.
Should be more than enough to see all 50 songs show up in the top 10. Like just by
claro,
pure
o sea, una lista de 50 canciones la pruebas 10 veces en shuffle y deberían salirte todas las canciones, ¿no? En teoría. Y más si son todas populares.
And statistics, probably. I was in AP Calculus, not AP Stats, okay? Please feel free to actually me in the comments about stats, and I'll be sure not to read them, okay? Dorks. So upon shuffling Hot Hits USA 10 times, Glimpse of Us by Joji was in the top 8 songs 4 of the 10 times that I shuffled this playlist. Stay by Justin Bieber and the Kid Laroi was also featured in the top 8 songs 4 out of the 10 times. And in all 10 times I reshuffled this playlist, only 43 of the 50 songs showed up in the top 8. Granted, this still could have been by pure chance and nothing else, and also the playlist is only 50 songs long, leaving way more room for all 50 songs to make it in the top 8 at some point or another. The algorithm could also just know that I love Joji, but I guess we'll never know. Or will we?
Qué guapo está ese cacharro, ¿no?
So we've established based on observation that Spotify's shuffle is definitely...
Bueno, lo que ha dicho antes, que probó la lista, hubo canciones y hubo 43 canciones de 50 que en las 10 que entraron en el top 8 o algo así, ha dicho, ¿eh? No, la verdad, en esa parte no recuerdo cómo lo ha dicho.
Truly random, and that it's an algorithm controlling every aspect of our waking consumeristic lives. The algorithm brought you this video, after all. The algorithm brought you a song you really like. Robots are controlling our lives. So how does the Spotify algorithm actually work? Oh, my arm hurts.
Claro, es que estás con el micrófono. Ese micrófono tiene que pesar de la polla, porque tiene pinta de ser bueno. Y es un cacharro, ¿eh? O sea, mira su mano y mira el micrófono. Ojito, ¿eh?
We saw our angry friend from before claim it was based on the popularities of the songs. Another person claimed that they noticed that Spotify would front-load... Another person claimed that they noticed that Spotify would front-load their queues with songs that also showed up on their on-repeat playlist. I am not judging this person's music taste. So is it based on the overall popularity of a track? Is it based on how popular the track is with you? If it was based on how many times you listen to the track...
Porque claro, on-repeat. ¿Pero quién usa on-repeat? ¿Esto existe? No lo he visto en mi puta vida esto, ¿eh? Igual es porque tengo el Spotify que no se paga, digamos, ¿sabes?
Person's music taste. So is it based on the overall popularity of a track? Is it based on how popular the track is with you? If it was based on how many times you listen to the track, this is what would happen. The playlist front loads the same songs every time.
Claro.
So I'll inadvertently have listened to Twin Leaf Town so many times that it shows up on my Spotify Wrapped, making it even more popular with me. Then Spotify thinks I really like this song, so it shows me the song even more times. So I don't know. They won't tell us.
Claro, o sea, no puede funcionar por las veces que has escuchado una canción, porque siempre te pondría esa canción de principio. Pero te tengo que decir una cosa. Si yo termino mi lista en shuffle hasta que se pausa y le vuelvo a dar a play, siempre empieza con la misma canción. Siempre empieza con Self-Esteem de The Offspring. Claro, si va por popularidad, o sea, si va por las veces que la has escuchado, si la lista en shuffle siempre te ponen las mismas, pues siempre vas a tener las mismas sonando.
What I did learn about the algorithm surprised me and calmed me down. There's this 2014 article from a Spotify engineer on Spotify's engineering blog website that outlines exactly how Spotify's shuffle algorithm
un ingeniero que
works.
explicó en
Although,
2014 cómo funciona, ¿no?
Probably has been tweaked, altered, and
claro, esto es
since
de 2014, o sea, habrá cambiado seguramente,
right.
espero.
2014 was 13 years ago. This is Miranda Cosgrove now. Feel old yet? Since Spotify got so many complaints about their shuffling, that was true random because they were getting the same cluster.
¿Ha dicho que 2014 fue hace 13 años?
Artists playing back to back, they changed it to an algorithm. When you hit shuffle, that algorithm takes all the songs in your playlist and spreads out songs from the same artist. Then it takes all the songs and orders them in a queue.
Vale, vamos a ver esto de nuevo.
From the hit shuffle, that algorithm takes all the songs in your playlist and spreads out songs from the same artist. Then it takes all the songs and orders them in a queue by position. It doesn't perfectly even out songs by the same artists on purpose to keep the placement still feeling a bit more random. So,
vale, o sea, cuando lo pones en shuffle, pilla todas las canciones que sean de los mismos artistas y como que las espacia, ¿no? Las va separando, para que así vaya cambiando de artista, ¿no?
The spacing in between songs by the same artist will typically be between 20 and 30% of the length of the playlist. Finally, Spotify shuffles the songs by the same artists among each other, among us, to prevent songs from the same albums playing too close to each other. And
pero es que esto es un error. Esto es un error. O sea, vale, vas a espaciar los artistas entre ellos, pero es que la canción sea de un artista u otro, me suda la polla.
Playlists, according to them. I'm willing to bet that this algorithm has changed a bit since this information was published, but I couldn't find a reliable source for it. Because it does seem to be a bit more algorithmically.
Dice que esto tiene que haber cambiado porque parece ser que el funcionamiento es como más de algoritmo, ¿no? O sea, que el algoritmo es más complejo.
Paying attention to factors like song mood, tempo, etc. Like how Spotify radio works, playing songs that fit better in a sequence together rather than a true shuffle.
O sea, lo que está diciendo es que el algoritmo a lo mejor tiene en cuenta temas como el mood de la canción o el tempo de la canción, para que así no te comas a lo mejor una canción de thrash metal y después te comas, no sé, country. A ver, podría ser.
Probability, because true random would also allow for clusters of artists to be together, and truly random shufflings that don't fit the progression of the mood.
Y este Crazy Frog es algo que me flipa.
For example, if you spent a week flipping a coin heads or tails to decide what you're going to eat for lunch every day that week, a hot dog with relish or microwaved palak paneer from Trader Joe's, there's an equal amount of chance that you could get heads like 5 out of the 7 days of that week.
Sí.
But there is a 100% chance that I'm getting heads every day of the week from your mom. So flipping heads 5 out of the 7 days that week is still just as random as getting an even amount of heads and tails throughout the week. Because true random doesn't have memory of the day before. Each flip is an equal part chance 50-50. This is otherwise known as gambler's fallacy. Don't tell XQC though. So, and now, with the algorithm specifically curated to feel more random, we still don't really believe that it feels random enough. So what the heck are we supposed to do about it?
Que lo mueves y cambia. Está guapísimo. Me cae muy bien esta chavala,
Spotify's shuffle is not truly random, and we probably don't want it to be truly random.
Bueno, eso
but
lo dirás
the
tú.
algorithm also sucks and people don't like it either. So what's the happy medium? Well, some people have suggested to just add an alternative shuffling option as true random if they really want their playlist to be shuffled truly randomly.
Vale, una de las opciones es otra opción de shuffle.
But also sometimes the answer is just even simpler. Let me bestow upon you some advice that I carry around in real life. I carry it around in my brain.
Nos va a dar un consejo.
Sometimes when you're faced with an issue that's gone through so much trial and error and things appear to be a mess now, like every Premiere Pro project that always seems to crash. And now you have 20 projects named Premiere Pro 2. Please work, I'm begging you. Sometimes you just need to take a step back and simplify it. Don't overcomplicate things.
Vale, vamos a simplificarlo. ¿Cómo?
Take the essential files you need and work and move it over to a brand new project file named something more peaceful, like Premiere Pro project. Okay, sorry, I have to give up that voice. I hope that made sense. We don't need machine learning algorithms to guess what song we want next. Instead of your shuffle putting the same songs first, Spotify could use that true random to pick one random song in the playlist and put that as the first song in the queue. And then Spotify could generate the rest of the queue around that random first song, with other songs in the playlist that naturally gauge the progression and mood and style without paying attention to any other algorithmic factors like popularity or how many times.
Vale, o sea, su punto es que Spotify debería elegir una canción, o sea, podría elegir una canción como random y el resto de la cola que hace en el random después de esa canción, adecuarla a el ritmo, a el mood, a las veces que lo has escuchado, a cosas así, ¿no? Para hacer el resto de la cola random.
Times you've listened to Twin Leaf Town over and over again. So, keeping the part of the algorithm that spreads out songs from the same artists in a queue, but not going out of the way to make sure songs from the same album don't play near each other and things like that. How this differs from what Spotify...
O sea, ella dice que vale lo de mantener, lo de que no suenen canciones del mismo artista seguidas, pero habría que quitarlo de que no suenen canciones del mismo disco o cosas así. Yo lo del mismo artista es que me da igual. Es que me da lo mismo. O sea, a lo mejor es algo muy personal, pero es que me da igual.
Spotify is doing now is if you perform a true random shuffle and pick one song to put at the start of the queue and form the rest of the queue around that first song, it would probably eliminate the same songs from playing over and over again in your first 10 songs, and maybe let those buried tracks shine a little more in your playlists. But also, I'm not an engineer, so I could be completely off base, but that's just my opinion from a consumer standpoint.
Es la polla el vídeo, ¿eh? O sea, y si lo mueves así te hace como vibratos. Es increíble ese bicho, ¿eh?
Pop quiz. How many times did I say the words playlist, algorithm, shuffle, and queue in this video? If you count and comment below with the correct answers, I'll give everyone who subscribes a PS5.
Sí, suerte.
I'm giving away 10 PS5s to everyone who follows me on Instagram and likes this video. Let me know if you found this video interesting and subscribe to help me hit 200k by the end of the year so I can bake another sad concoction and answer some personal questions about me on my second channel. Also, before I go, thank you so much for 100,000 plays on Plastic Love and over 100,000 views.
Un poquito de spam, ¿no?
So combined, that's
Pero lo vamos a ver porque se ha currado el vídeo. O sea, nos ha explicado varias opciones, no nos ha explicado la verdad, supongo. Le voy a dar a like. Pero me sigue sin convencer la forma de que en teoría tiene Spotify de hacer el shuffle, porque muy poco shuffle veo, ¿eh? Yo qué sé, le podrían poner un parchecito, ¿no? ¿O qué?